In discussing the Chet Meraglim, the sin of the spies with which our parsha opens, several Meforshim suggested that the Meraglim's mistake lay in their deviation from the role that was assigned to them by Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu told them a number of specific pieces of information they were supposed to gather when they visited Canaan, all of them relating to the indigenous population, their numbers, lifestyle, and to the land's agricultural qualities. It was not to devise a military strategy, but rather the purpose was for the people to become acquainted with Canaan prior to their entry into the land. As Yosef Dov Soloveitchik noted, the Torah describes their mission with the term vayaturu, which is more like the English word, and you shall tour, versus vayiraglu, which means to spy. Therefore, their purpose was to acquaint themselves with the land as opposed to devising that military strategy. And their mistake, therefore, was changing the nature and the purpose of their mission. They were never asked to make an assessment of whether or how easily Bnei Yisrael would be able to take possession of the land. This approach to the incident of the Chet Meraglim can shed light on a famous medrash found within Rashi in his commentary right at the beginning of Shelach, the Tanchuma. The medrash draws a curious connection between the Meraglim, their sin, and the preceding narrative of Miriam and Aharon's disparaging remarks about Moshe. Miriam was punished on account of the words of slander, the Lashon Hara spoken about her brother, and these Rishaim, these wicked men, saw but did not learn the lesson. Therefore, the Medrash really is framing the sin of the Meraglim as one of Hotzat Dibah, of slander, as a sin of Lashon Hara comparable to Miriam and Aaron's negative speech about Moshe. Our job, ultimately, when we meet people, is to get to know them for the purpose of nurturing a healthy communal and social structure to be able to help one another when the need arises. When we begin to give an assessment of others, that's Lashon Hara, which is exactly what the Meraglim did when they gave an assessment to the land of Israel. And therefore, that might be the connection, that just as Miriam overstepped her bounds by evaluating Moshe Rabbeinu's marriage, a job for which she was never assigned to spies, similarly went beyond the role of collecting information to actually assessing the possibilities of capturing Eretz Yisrael. And the lesson thus conveyed by the Midrash is to avoid expanding our role to that of a judge of other people, to focus our attention always on our areas of responsibility without making the judgments, the very same sin of the Meraglim themselves.